So then, that brings me to the new stuff that just got released today, earlier today. So the changes came to Mecha Blade Soldier, Johan, and Ainea. I don't know how impactful these are going to be. So Mecha Blade Soldier, again, 6 cost, 4/6 right now. His defense is going to get dropped by 2, but his cost is also going to get dropped by 2. Effect and strike deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. If another allied Machina follower is in play, deal 2 damage instead. Not bad, actually, but I don't know. Maybe there's some use for it in the updated Machina build for Swordcraft, but who knows? I don't think that's a very impactful change, to be honest. Could be good for clearing wider boards without having to like run followers in, but to be honest, the Machina Swordcraft deck kind of wants to do that because of the way Grayson's effect works. I initially did not even read the secondary effect. I only saw the first effect. Whenever he comes out, you give your leader the following effect. Whenever an allied Machina follower attacks the enemy follower during your turn, deal 1 damage to the enemy follower, which is really good. So basically, you just ping off all of your opponent's life. And with cards like Johan, basically giving anything that touches the board rush, plus having rush himself, you can just like play turns where you get Grayson, and then just like go crazy with followers. Just like play as much or as many followers as possible. So then the next one's going to be Johan. So Johan was originally a 3/5, who has a really good effect where every time one of your Machina followers is destroyed, his cost gets reduced by 1. So you can get it out to essentially 0 cost, which is kind of cool. They buffed his stats, though, which is super tight. So he went from a 3/5 to a 5/6, which makes him a little bit scarier. Additionally, someone correct me if I'm wrong, his effect also gives any Machina follower that comes out onto the board rush. Is that right? I think that's right, which could be really good for like Nam turns, where you play Nam, get a bunch of stuff in hand. The following turn, you play like a Johan with Grayson, and then you can just play a bunch of followers, run them in. The second to last one is Ainea, who right now is a 6 cost 4/4. Is that right? I think this is a 4/4. 6 cost. Oh, sorry, 3/3. I see right down there. I'm dumb. So Ainea is a 6 cost 3/3. They're gonna drop her cost down by 2, but then also reduce her stats by 2 or by 1 as well. What's good about Ainea is that she summons a little Mark 1 roly-poly, which can basically tank 2 hits. And it has to tank 2 hits. And if you don't kill Ainea, but you kill the roly-poly at the end of the turn, the roly-poly comes back. Which is terrifying, I guess, defensively. The thing is, I still don't know if this makes a change in Machina Shadowcraft. Do you guys think this is a very impactful? Let me know. I don't think this is a very impactful change. I think it's cool that the effect got reduced, but I don't think it changes very much because in this deck you're still trying to get to turn 9 so you can play Fleeting Joy. You know, Friends Forever pulls this, right? Yeah, that's great. You don't think that it gets cleared though? Yeah, I guess she becomes a pull for Friends Forever. The roly-poly is also 4 cost, right? Is that, can we check that? Roly-poly Mark 1, yeah. So you could, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, if you pull her, it's really good. If you just pull the roly-poly, then it's whatever, right? It's basically the same effect. Yeah, it's also 4 cost. But things like Nerea still just erase this thing completely, which is kind of problematic. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Bicycle Jungler, you're right. That's the thing I'm worried about. Turn 4 into 5. Back to back. I guess, yeah, that's pretty good. But then what do you do in the meantime, right? So it's great. You have a roly-poly out, one that sticks pretty much every turn. Then what do? You don't really want to slot this into Natura, right? Because there's no last words. It also eats up a turn, like your turn 4. But yeah, I think that this is a great effect, and yeah, it's good for getting the Friends Forever, like second, like the repull for free, basically. But then what do you do? What do you do with all that extra time? You could also, yeah, like use like Burial Rite, toss her in there, You just get her for free plus the roly-poly, which is nice. But again, like, what archetype does this, like, slot in well with? I think that's... If you can figure out the answer to that question, then this is impactful. So if you can figure out what to do with all your free time when Ainea and Roly-Poly Mark 1 are on the board, then I think you make this a very useful change. But otherwise, I don't see it doing much. Yeah, you could use it in Hades as a defensive play, but honestly, I think Hades' biggest issue is that it doesn't have ways to clear. Like, if your opponent drops an Araya and you're playing Hades, gulp. Oh yeah, Shadows is good, I suppose. I hope it works. I hope it does work out. I'm initially pessimistic in hopes that I'm wrong. But that brings us to the last card, which is Colossal Skull Lord. I think this is a cool one. So 7 cost, of course, 6/6. Right now, his effect is this. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to all non-Machina followers. That's not great. Because if your opponent is also running a Machina deck, or a deck with Machina cards in it, which is, all things considered, pretty likely in this meta, that effect does almost nothing for you. That's basically a giant 7 cost, 6/6 who does literally nothing. However, his effect is changing where, at the end of your turn, if any allied Machina followers are in play, you just deal 4 damage to all the enemy's followers. That's kind of cool. I think that's much better. Also, the damage buff on the effect is nice. Otherwise, deal 4 damage to all of the followers, which, okay, fair enough. Now the case is this runnable in Machina Shadowcraft? I don't know. I still think that deck has some problems just trying to get to 9. Yeah, and I don't see this slotting into anything else. Like, anything else at all. Maybe you'd make a case and try to, like, run, like, a Natura slash... that sounds disgusting, though. A Natura slash Machina Shadowcraft deck, but that seems really bad because both those decks have, like, very lackluster early games. So, I don't know if this sees play. Considering it's also rotating out in a month, is that right, guys? This rotates out at the end of the... month. So it's kind of weird that they would make this change. Maybe this has more of an impact in Unlimited or Take 2? I don't know. Oh, no, this actually isn't in Take 2 because it's only the last 4 expansions, right?